This is the Brick Commentary Central. You're listening to the BCC Podcast. It is Monday, May 22nd of 2023, and you're listening to episode 351 of the BCC Podcast. I'm LQ, and we lied. We're back. 1 week from the last episode. We ended up getting some of the behind-the-scenes tech stuff kind of sorted out. This is sort of a dry run here. We will see what happens. And of course, joining me today is Maluris.
We were told that we were going to have cool things to say during the intro. That's not true.
I said say
That's
cool
impossible.
things. I didn't say I was going to give you cool things to say.
I feel like you should know us enough to know that we don't do things on our own.
Yes, I know. But I can, try and encourage you. Also, Leo.
I'm in no place to do anything on my own right now.
Well, what is that supposed to mean?
That means he has a wife.
Well, I also have 4 days until a very pivotal moment of my life.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, thank you for being here, Leo. You made the right choice.
Yes, I know.
Unless you fail. And then you might have made
Then
the
I
wrong
didn't make the right
Yeah.
choice. Yeah.
Oh, who knows? Maybe it would just saved you from a career of doom and misery.
Well, I think it's a bit too late for that.
Oh. So sad. But Mace is here also.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, so... Yeah, after last week, it was a fun but absolute chaotic train wreck of a podcast.
I wouldn't say train wreck.
My
Nothing
computer
went wrong.
crashed during it. It literally wrecked.
Hey,
that's
at
true.
least we didn't
That's-
lose the entire podcast. That's happened before.
That's true also. And because of all the
It
new
was
stuff,
a really good episode.
I actually
though.
forgot to start the recording for Rumble. So we're not on Rumble this week. But
Darn.
now we can always
Again.
download it from a DVR version and upload it to Rumble. But in the future, there will be the higher quality version of this podcast available to watch pre-recorded on Rumble. Be sure to check us out. Register with the link in the description below, and Rumble will reward us for that. We get all the revenue from ads on Rumble, which is still $0.00, but you know. And if you would like to talk about any of the subjects that pop up today, anything Lego related or anything at all, really, as long as, it pleases us, you can join the BCC Crew Discord server. Link is in the description below. Please ask your parents' permission before going online. Do they say that anymore? They used to say that in commercials all the time,
No.
but I think they assume the
think
kids are
people-
already online at this point.
I think they're encouraging the kids to go online without their parents' permission.
It's like, hey kids, oh no, help. Fortnite guy is going to die without the new V-Buck skin. So you must log on to the internet and put in mommy's credit card information, the 3 silly numbers on the back. You know, like,
Did you ever figure out what happened to VoiceOver Pete?
yeah, I did. I told you, and I guess you weren't paying attention.
I thought you said he just fell off the face of the earth then.
No, like there was apparently some controversy, and then he just disappeared off the face of the
What
earth.
was the
after
controversy?
that.
Beyond his YouTube channel?
I think it was the fact, like
The
I
five?
think
I know he got
he
banned.
got caught up fighting
Fiverr?
Fiverr basically, and people started saying like he was scamming them or something. I forget the specifics. In fact, I might just pull that up now, just to validate myself, so I don't look like too much of an idiot on air. Which I know, kind of contradictory, but voiceover Pete, man. Let's look over voiceover Pete controversy. Let's get spicy.
Yeah, so
Oh, he harassed someone, possibly. There's accusations of harassment
which
against
type?
him. Sexual.
Okay.
This podcast is rated R for voiceover Pete.
So sad.
Alleged harassment.
That's
So
good. Now all you need is a box.
I don't know. I always want. I'm gonna play that in the most inappropriate times from now on.
Very good.
Yes, we're using the Discord soundboard feature now, which I learned has a limit of, it looks like 8 slots, and I can't figure out how to replace any of them, so these are the 8 sound effects that we got for the rest of our lives. Do with that what you may. Like we said, though, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, at least that's the plan. We've only got one topic, though it is one I am very eager to discuss, and that is the new Ninjago City set. There is indeed another piece of Ninjago City dropping, the 4th piece, which is cool because I actually just got my Ninjago City sets unpacked on the new shelves this past weekend, and now I can finally display them to full height, and I realize these are like 3 feet tall. These are really tall sets. Like, they are big. So...
How do you have yours set up right now? What order?
Here, actually, I can just bring up a picture on the podcast stream. It's not, like, completely complete at the moment, but since it is literally right next to my desk, I can show you what I've got at the moment. Going the long way around to upload from my phone to Discord to OBS. So yeah, I guess this is actually a good reference point to talk about the 3 previous pieces of Ninjago City. For those who don't know the history of it. First Ninjago City dropped in, what was it, 2017?
Yeah, it coincided with the movie release.
Yeah, I forget when the movie was at this point.
That was 2017.
2016, but yeah, I think 2017 sounds right.
Alright, so yeah, first one, which is all the way on the right for my setup here, is the original Ninjago City, and that goes from that cherry tree on the right above the ship all the way to the blowfish on the left.
Is that the movie Destiny's Bounty there?
Yeah, that's the movie's Destiny Bounty over there.
I'll never forget it now.
Yeah, it's not its permanent resting place. I want to get it integrated a little bit more into...
Its resting place.
That is technically the proper term.
Rip.
Yeah, but it has amusing connotations.
But yeah, so then we got the Ninjago City Docks, which I believe released just the next year, so that was like the closest gap, which is the much shorter one between, but it's longer.
But it's still tiny.
It's actually my favorite of all of them, because it's very condensed and it doesn't fall apart easily. Also, I just noticed the antenna is bent on the city.
Nice.
But yeah, so that
That's
goes
what you
all
get
the way
for
from
having
the little
siblings.
green building with the antennas to that pig balloon on the left of it.
Big balloon.
Very nice.
And then you have the latest piece up until next week. The Ninjago City Gardens. This is the...
This one has the little river that runs through it, right?
They all have a
Or
river.
they all have the one
Yeah.
through line, but this one has like the nice little garden.
Yes, so that also has... You can
That's
see
the-
the little pagoda on the left next to it. Not the building, but like that little bright red pagoda. That is also part of the gardens.
Uh-huh.
So in this one, I'm trying to remember how... Did it come out in 2021, I think? Yeah, that would have been right? Because it was still Legacy at the time. Yeah, 2021.
Probably.
February of 2021 is when that piece came out. So it's been a couple of years since the last piece, and we thought that it was kind of over at this point. All of these sets had come with cool minifigures that we hadn't gotten elsewhere, like Mother Doomsday, the comic shop owner guy. And then, actually, the docks didn't really come with anything. It came with a bad Dareth and a bad Mistake. But they tried a little bit. Then, with the gardens, we got minifigures such as the Tinkerer, a new version of Ronin, new version of Misako. So really only one new character again still. Some new interesting versions. That also had a Golden Woo. Oh yeah, it did have Young Lloyd with the Young Lloyd hairpiece. So that was all very cool stuff. As you can see, they look pretty cool. And I will say, anytime I try to take a picture, it does not look as cool as it does on the shelf. Like, I can't get all the colors to display properly and actually look as cool as they do on a picture. So, but this is about to basically expand in size as big as that middle piece for the docks, because the new Ninjago City Markets is another middle piece, which is cool. If it was another corner, like the gardens and the city itself, well, that could be cool. It's much harder to display an L-shaped set. But yeah, there we go. And it's under the Dragon's Rising line this time. For anyone that doesn't know, I have under good authority, Ninjago Core is gone. And it's only story-based sets being released in the the
Oh, good. Wow.
So I don't want to say I was right,
dodged a bullet there.
but I was right. Now, this last wave of core sets was actually good. It's just always cooler to have some sort of story theme. So, you know, the sets, it makes more interesting sets generally, I think. So overall, this looks pretty cool on first glance. And Leo, I think you questioned where I was going to put this. I think it's going to go between the docks and the gardens, because it has the blue lanterns like the gardens does. So I think it should line up with that. And it's a middle piece, of course. So I'd rather not make it go on an end. Though you could put it on an end still if you want to make your city have an L shape. It's just, you have to have really like a center table in your basement, which is not what I have. I've got a shelf.
You got
there could be
Lego
like 9
movie.
sets total released in this line, so you have like just one giant square.
Yeah, eventually that's kind of like what modular buildings did, and who knows? I'm fine with the every 2 years release schedule. I think that's a fine release schedule. If they do continue after this, who knows? So, the set's pretty cool in itself. Some people complained that there's not as much going on as other editions, which, okay, fair. But I kind of like some of the more open space to contrast with the very busy sets like the gardens, and the cable car is super cool. And it does move as well, so I like that a lot. But you know, the real star of this set is the minifigures. So, first off, I want to point out some cool locations here. We've got Laffy's, Dareth's karaoke bar from Sons of Garmadon. And a new Dareth. Not only a new Dareth that has been in the show. It is Sons of Garmadon Dareth.
Perfect.
One of my
karaokeing.
Yep. It's like the Dareth for my absolute favorite scene in the show. Did you ever get to that point, Leo?
Nope.
Well,
You got to get back on it at some point. Like, oh man, the season. You know, every season just shoots up in quality as soon as Dareth is on screen.
It really is true.
Truer words have never been spoken.
With the new Dragon's Rising, I'm wondering if he's even going to be in this season, because Dareth might not be around for a while. But you know he'll be back. Dareth always comes back in the end. Also, in the same picture, you can notice Racer 7. That was an interesting inclusion, especially because they don't actually have her in her racing gear, but with a Tahu t-shirt, a Bionicle minifigure t-shirt, which is actually really cool.
Yeah, it is.
So
She's got a canister.
yeah, she has a canister. Well, it's a Pohatu canister, and she has a Tahu. So
now Tahu had kind of a bronzish reddish.
that's true. Like,
so it could still be.
I don't know if it's confirmed. Ford would know if he was here, if Neek worked on this set, but you know, I'm pretty sure Neek worked on this set.
Probably.
Actually, do we know Neek's last name? I know it's Nick Voss, but then there's Neek. And Leo, do you know? Oh.
Lego Man.
But yeah, for those who don't know,
I forgore.
What was that?
I forgore.
Okay. These are 2 Lego designers that we have actually had the pleasure of meeting before, and they're really cool guys. They grew up with a lot of the same themes we did, so they include references like this in the sets. And also, honestly, just probably some of the best designers Lego has ever had. But yeah.
That's pretty high praise.
Well, seriously, they've made really great sets. Like some of the new, they've been, I think it's Nick Voss has been behind a lot of the later Harry Potter sets. Those have been super cool. And yeah, Neek, I know, has been in a lot of Ninjago sets. Actually, Nick probably has too. I get them confused at some point because they do a lot of stuff together. But yeah, they always are including the Bionicle references for us, so that's appreciated, even though the community doesn't deserve it. But yeah, now let me see if I can pull up the price for this. Markets.
500.
No, it wasn't that much. I mean, it's not cheap at all, but okay. So it's also the biggest piece, it has the most pieces in it. So the Gardens was the previous largest piece. It had 5,685 pieces. This one has 6,163.
Wow.
And it was marketed at $370, which is $20 more than the market. That is still a very good price for piece ratio. It is the most expensive piece. It is also the largest piece. But as far as like price you're paying for each individual brick, this is probably one of the best values.
It's pretty good.
All right.
Big buy.
So yeah, we talked about the Dareth as in the minifigures though, but there are others too. Like they did not just throw us one bone this time, even though, Dareth would have been enough. That you could stop at Dareth and everyone would be okay.
Just there.
Only Dareth in there?
Yeah, I would be fine with the whole set, just Dareth. Like the all berry Captain Crunch. Just all Dareth.
Oh, it's like oops, all Gordos.
Yes.
King Dedede.
Okay, so let's look at some of the figures we got here. So we got the new Dragons Rising Lloyd and Nia. They're pretty common. They're in a lot of sets. I already talked about Racer 7 and Dareth. We finally got Camille. No one's ever actually pronounced the name, so no one knows. The final elemental master, the master of form.
Oh, that's right.
The only elemental master in Tournament of Elements that has not gotten a minifigure yet. Yeah, I hate how you said that.
Thank you.
Yes, but no, this is great because that, I like having complete sets of things. And so now we finally have the complete Tournament of Elements Elemental Master collection, and I am so happy about that. But what is arguably even cooler? We finally have a normal Cyrus Borg.
It took how long?
Let's see, what year is it?
10 years?
Yeah.
9 years?
Since this character first
To be fair,
debuted.
he's not a big character.
What, do you say he's not a big character?
He doesn't show up super
He shows up almost every season.
He's basically just Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed.
Okay, no, it was 9 years. It came out in 2014, so 9 years.
Oh,
Are you
gosh.
sure about almost every season? I mean, you're the expert.
Okay, well, let's go through each of them. After he obviously premieres in Rebooted.
Dedicated to this knowledge search.
I don't have to look anything up. I know this by heart.
Slightly silly name.
Yeah.
And then you got Tournament of Elements. He shows up in the first episode because that's when Hiroshi's Labyrinth is introduced.
Right.
And
I
then
remember that.
next season is Possession. Yep, Possession. And he shows up where he gets the ninja, the ghost hunting vehicles at the end, and he gives Kai the headband.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, and then he says Jay's gotten shorter.
And I wish I remembered that.
Yep. And then next up is Skybound. To be fair, I cannot remember particularly where he's at if he's in that one. But so far, we've gone like 3 in a row, so that's pretty good.
I don't think he shows up in Skybound.
He might not.
Yeah.
Dareth doesn't show up
If he
much.
does, he might, he just might have a very small role.
Oh, wait, never mind. Dareth does show up in Skybound. I was thinking of Possession. Dareth just shows up twice, which is as the inflatable and when they make him crash in the back of a cement truck and die.
Of course, he walked it off.
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
You don't remember
The
this?
brown ninja doesn't
No.
accept death.
It's when the ninja go to, like, the place where all the monks that write the future, and then they spill ink all over Dareth's destiny.
Oh, yeah. I'd forgotten about. I need to rewatch this. It's been too long.
So yeah, then I don't think that he is in Skybound. I believe he might show up in Day of the Departed, but I'm not sure. But then he actually has a fairly large part in Hands of Time, because he's like the guy that they kidnapped to actually build the giant mech for
Does anybody
time
remember
travel.
that?
I do.
Hands of Time.
Hands of Time didn't even exist as far as I'm concerned.
Listen, I think that season got too much hate. I'm gonna go out on the limb and say it here.
We'll have to
folks.
revisit it at some point. I mean, it's better than
I
The
just don't
Island.
remember it. I know, like, Kai had a dad or something lame like that.
Imagine fatherhood.
So
His dad went to get the milk, you know, like.
I don't know that he is specifically in Sons of Garmadon, but there's a picture of him in Borg Tower.
That's not much.
And Borg Tower is there, and that's literally his tower. It's the
That's
Trump
why I
Tower
had
of
to say
Ninjago.
that's-
Cyrus Borg
That's
is
why I had to say
Ninjago's
not
Donald
much
Trump.
instead of nothing. True.
I want to see
True.
an arc in Ninjago where Cyrus Borg runs for president.
He can run for mayor because the mayor sucks so much, apparently.
Does
As
Ninjago
revealed
have,
in only one season of the show.
does
but-
Ninjago have a system of government? like
They
that?
introduced the mayor
Apparently.
literally in the final season of the last show.
Nice.
And he's like corrupt or something.
Yeah.
In a mediocre, boring way, not in a.
Yeah, he ends up not, like, being relevant whatsoever.
So
It's
he's just
like-
utterly
Basically,
inefficient.
Ninjago politics
ineffective.
is like England's
He's like the
politics.
Mr.
They have a royal
E
family that they
Ninjago.
kind of keep around, keep all pretty and well fed, but they do nothing. But then you have the local elected government who are all corrupt.
And also does nothing.
Yeah, so
Just like
literally
real
just
life.
England.
And then they all blow up.
The end.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Cyrus Borg is in a
Queen
lot of them,
died.
and then he was, and then of course, like in the Prime Empire, he had a big part in that season as well. So Cyrus Borg is
Oh,
one
yeah,
of the more
he did,
prevalent
didn't he?
characters. Yeah,
But he wasn't on the island, I don't think. He wasn't
no,
in
but the
Seabound.
island was a 2-episode arc that sucked.
That's true.
Everyone
But-
the island.
yeah, but the sets were
Said
pretty
no
cool,
one.
so that's really
Yeah,
not
the
fair.
sets. I actually have all the sets for the island because they were very like moderately priced and pretty cool sets. So
It's really unfair to do good sets with a bad short.
Yeah.
Essentially.
But speaking of Ninjago System Government, another one they introduced, for some reason, Hound Dog McGraw is in here. He was like,
the dog reference.
he's essentially CIA in Ninjago.
Yeah.
He was introduced just last season. He was not very well liked. And
Yeah, why-
we get
yeah.
him instead of the police.
season wasn't liked, but
Yeah, then we get him instead of the police commissioner who's been around since Skybound.
Oh, with the little white mustache.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've still not gotten him, so that's a very interesting. So yeah, we're going all over the place. But also, then next to Lloyd and Nia, we've got Detective Zane from that one-off episode in Prime Empire as well, actually. That's a very
Perfect.
interesting choice.
It's fun.
it's funny because I remember watching that episode with you, and you're like, "This is stupid."
Yeah, I didn't like that episode.
It's a fun minifig, not a fun.
Yeah, the minifig is fine, though it doesn't have leg printing. Next to him,
Yeah.
though, we've got Blacksmith Kai. Now, one of the ironic part of this, that is not the blacksmith outfit that Kai has in either appearance.
It's all recycled parts.
Is it all recycled parts?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Like, what is that torso and legs from?
I don't recall. This came out like 2 weeks ago. It went in one eye and out the other.
But where do you learn that it was recycled parts?
Online, in the comment section.
Okay. So I,
Pretty wrong,
yes,
but a
the
lot of people
internet,
were
the
telling me
most
just
reliable
corrected them.
source.
No one corrected them, and you know people on the internet live for each other.
but okay. I mean, it's still a nice gesture, and it looks fairly close, honestly. It's just, instead of a white shirt, it's gray and a brown
It's
apron.
good
So
enough. I mean, he doesn't have to wear the same shirt every single
Yeah.
day.
we've got those
He has,
new
like,
characters,
10,000 ninja geese. He can have a different battle.
which I believe are Sora and Aaron, or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know if these versions are exclusive to the set or not. I think they might be. We also got Misdemeanor. That's an interesting, like, smaller
Must be the
character.
new Air Ninja.
She's shown up in, like, when did Misdemeanor first show up? I know it was Wild
I
Terrain
think it
era.
was.
Super recently.
Yeah, I think it was in Seabound.
Was it Seabound? Okay. So
Yeah, I think that was her first appearance.
interesting. I thought it was once before, but maybe not. Okay. So yeah, that's an interesting inclusion as well, and smaller. That's a lot of characters from the show this time, as opposed to others which
It
had
really
like
is.
maybe one. But there's still. I mean, there's also got Gale Gossip, who's been in it for a while. But better than Gale Gossip is, the most important character in Ninjago lore, Vinny Folsom.
You've lost me.
The roommate.
Vinny is like the best and most down to earth character in all of Ninjago. In my favorite scene.
He's the real person. Like, if you were inserted into Ninjago, you would be Vinny. Like, he's the bridge between our reality and the fantastical world of Ninjago. That's Vinny.
Yeah, Leo, you need to finish up the Oni arc.
I need to just rewatch Ninjago. I've forgotten everything.
Yeah. But yeah, then we got like a chef guy. Or not a chef, that's a woman. Never mind.
Chef by John Favreau.
Then another guy in suspenders, a villager, an old lady, and some other random villagers to pad it out, which is nice. You need citizens in the city. You didn't get a lot of them after the movie sets were the only time we actually got like citizens of Ninjago otherwise. So good to have more of these. But yeah, I mean, that's just the minifigures. There's so much to this set. Let's bring it up here. Also, there's a really good trailer on Twitter, which I'm not going to play here, but you can watch my previous analysis video to get a little bit more detail in there. So again, the cable car, that's pretty cool. I really like that feature. We've got a Borg store. It is not Borg Tower. I think someone in LEGO tried to say it was, but Borg Tower would be a really cool within itself.
Like the Daily Bugle building. What?
You guys are supposed to fill the air while the train goes past because I've got to mute myself at that point.
Uh-oh.
It just feels like that's a part of the
Oh, that's
soundboard
funny.
almost. Like,
Yeah.
that sounded real good.
I thought it was a
Yeah.
failed joke at comparing the cable car to a train.
No.
I just wasn't sure what to do.
Leo froze.
But then I believe up at like the top there, you've got some other restaurant or something. The squid build is pretty cool. I like that.
Good game.
I'm also not sure what the other posters will be. The posters always have some interesting references in these sets.
And they usually give a few different ones to change out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's usually like 3 or 4 of them. The bridge at the bottom, I also quite like that bridge. The bottom is fairly empty compared to some of the other sets. Like I said, some people pointed that out, but I think that leaves a lot of room to like build your own stuff down there, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
Also, cool, like the pillar there has a bunch of vines and flowers growing on it. I think that's neat.
And Cole and Jay stay losing at all times.
Cole and Jay have just even been shown in any of the sets and have not been in any of the new trailers.
They stay losing.
I'm not
at
sure
all
Jay
times.
stays. Well, Jay and Cole's losing is very
Even-
different. Like, Cole's losing because he never gets any spotlight in the series. Jay's got like 3 seasons that he's the main character of.
He still stays losing. But yeah.
But yeah, that's all the main locations. I just think it's really cool. I think it will, like, I do really like the size of it. I think having a longer city is really cool. It makes it look, the more robust it is, the more it is like a real actual city. So I quite like that.
Yeah. If it was just 4 skyscrapers, they'd look a little awkward next to each other.
Yeah, so I will certainly be getting this at some point during the summer. All the sets are releasing on June 1st, actually, along with the show, where traditionally, Europe has gotten all of the sets in June. We always had to wait in North America until August, but no more. Now it's all coming out right away. But, yeah, I don't think I'll be purchasing it that soon. I'll probably purchase a little bit later in the summer. Because I can't stop at this point. Let's face it, at this point, you can't go 3 sets into this investment and not continue onward. You know, it's a sunken cost.
This is what gambling does to a man.
Kevin, in gambling, you have a chance of winning money.
These go up in value over time.
Yeah, no, I don't mean to make light of it. Gambling is gambling addiction is a very serious disease. But it's the only disease where you can win a lot of money. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say on it. Like I said, it's kind of straightforward, but in like all the best ways. Like I said, I really look forward to the cable car. I think that's cool. I'd love to see about hooking up a motor function to it as well. I think that'd be
fun.
I think that'd be a really
good
cool
project.
thing. I've never actually purchased one of the power motor sets because they're actually really expensive for what they are. So, but I'm very interested. I think that adding some dynamic movements to this set could be very fun. And just the minifigures alone are just like incredible. So many figures I've been asking for so long. I'm really looking for it. Like the Dareth alone, like I said, sells it for me. But then you've got Vinny. Like that's another one. Like was on my top 10 most wanted.
Final Elemental Master. That's a huge.
Yeah, that's an absolutely huge. I'd given up on the Elemental Masters being completed at this point. And I'd almost given up on Cyrus Borg too, honestly. And I'm surprised he's so accurate to the show. Because technically, Camille is not accurate, but the last versions, like with Lobo that was released during Legacy, he was not fully accurate either, but it's close enough you don't mind. Yeah, she is in there. We've got Cyrus Borg, so now I've got to like reevaluate which ones we need the most. The police commissioner is probably one of the most needed at this point, even though he's not the most interesting minifigure.
No.
But he's such a pivotal character at this point.
You should be able to recreate him from existing parts.
I don't think the mustache exists in that color.
Hmm.
Actually, technically that mustache piece doesn't exist, which is probably why we didn't get him. It looks similar to like the handlebar mustache, or not handlebar mustache, like the wavy curly, not quite curly one that like Flintlock uses. His is a little bit more bushy. It's more like a comb, like an elongated Hitler.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I was fully aware of how that sounded going into it.
Elongated. That sentence just makes me think of Slender Man with the...
Well, I specifically meant in referring to mustache styles. You've got the Hitler and the elongated Hitler. Like J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Leo knows
He's
what I'm
got
talking
that.
about.
I know.
For a while, it literally was just a Hitler mustache. When did that finally go out of style? Because you would have think it went out of style shortly after World War II, but apparently not.
I think it's just when mustaches itself started falling out of style. Like the 80s had the Magnum PI mustaches.
I mean, mustaches are coming back lately.
Ones. Yeah, but they're still not as, prevalent.
They're not.
As opposed to full beards or clean shaven.
Yeah, full beards are a lot more popular now, which is interesting that that's become a mainstay again. Because the reason we didn't have them was there's 2 things: World War II, because literally everyone was in the war and they had to shave, and then also when corporate America started emerging, that was just the thing, is everyone had to be clean shaven. But as we're moving into kind of a post corporate culture world with our generation, we see a lot more guys with beards again, which would resemble the 1800s. What I'm saying here is that they should give the ninja beards with this new series of Ninjago. I think that'd be neat.
It would be neat.
We do have Jay with a beard, actually, as a minifigure for future Jay.
Yeah.
All right, that is gonna do it for us today.
It's in short.
Yeah, wasn't as short as I was expecting. Actually, we did hit 40 minutes, so
Really?
yeah.
All times fun.
Yeah. So, I already talked about the Discord server. We're also on Twitter. Didn't post there tonight because this was a shorter special episode. We will be back every Monday night, usually around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check the BCC Crew Discord server updates. If we don't post anything, ping us and ask what the heck we're doing with our lives. So, for Leo, Mace, Maluris, and myself, LQ, we thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.
I think with Ford gone, I'm going to see my name first.